authorities are at a loss to explain what is causing this weather and why it has taken them by surprise.
That sudden drop in temperature as half an hour ago, Mexican officials closed the border in the light of so many U.S. refugees.
Be prepared to go live to Los Angeles.
Are you getting this on camera? What you see is happening now.
Look over there behind me! That's a tornado! Yes! A twister!
This is just massive.
A massive avalanche of ash from Mount Sinabung sweeps down across the landscape. It's just the latest threatening sign from the Indonesian volcano, as experts fear the mountain is on the verge of another major eruption.
And the ground is just so soaked there. Imagine you're driving around and then something like this happens. Yeah, this happens to people. I mean, we've seen it before where cars are at the bottom of sinkholes and you wonder how it happens. Well, yeah, if that happens right in front of you while you're driving your car.
Power lines are going down. Holy crap. Look at that, dude. Zoom in. I know, I'm zooming. Just relax.
Tuesday. Yeah, the roof is completely shaved off. You can actually see into these people's home. I mean, this is somebody's life here. Imagine what it would be like if you're in there and a tornado comes in and just shaves off the roof like that.
Hell is a hard place, I don't want to go. Hell is a hard place, I don't want to go. Hell is a hard place, I don't want to go. Hell no, hell no, hell no. Hey family, this is E. Cornell, and I am in Columbia, South Carolina. Baby, when I tell you that it is about 993 degrees out here, ain't no birds flying, ain't no people walking. I saw a couple of folk playing basketball, threw the ball up in the hoop, ball wouldn't even come down, didn't want to touch the pavement. Hot wings on the ground from where it was a chicken, didn't just cook, just hot wings on the ground. It's so hot out here. The devil ain't busy. I mean, it's just hot, baby. It's so hot out here. I ain't never getting out the car. No. They said chocolate melts in your mouth and out of your hand. Now, baby, chocolate melt when you open up this door. Hell is a hard place. I don't want to go. Hell is a hard place. I don't want to go. Hell is a hard place. I don't want to go. Hell no, hell no, hell no. I'm getting delirious. That's what it is. It's too hot. It's just too hot.
A rough night for roofs in Central Florida.
Yeah, severe storms ripped the roof off a Castleberry home, while the heavy rains and winds caused the roof of an Orange County home to simply collapse. Good evening, I'm Angela Taylor.
And I'm Brett Conley. It's the second night in a row we've seen nasty weather do serious damage to local homes. We have live team coverage of the storm aftermath. We begin with WESH 2's Summer Knowles in Orange County. Summer.
Well, guys, what I can tell you is that this was a surprise for them, the family that's out here. They said the storm kind of came out of nowhere. They were actually up on the roof doing some repair work, which is why you can see this big construction trash bin in the front yard. But if you pan up a little bit, you can see a portion of the roof, a silver lining where they were doing some of the repairs where a tarp is right now. And that's one of 3 spots this home had the roof cave in. Now go ahead and take a look at some of the video that we have for you, where you can see one of the rooms, the roof completely caved in. There's debris all over the floor. And, you know, there's water everywhere. At one point, we were told that they put out some buckets and some pots and pans on the floor to try and catch some of that water. But they weren't able to really salvage anything out here because, again, the roof caved in 3 different parts. One in the bedroom, a portion in the living room, as well as in the kitchen. But fortunately, no one was injured.
I am relieved that nobody was hurt. That's the main reason why I'm not worried so much because this is property and this could be fixed.
Now, you said while the firefighters were here is when one of the other collapses happened?
Yeah, actually we were in the living room covering up some of the TVs and stuff. They were helping us cover up the TVs and furniture. And next thing you know, we just heard a big boom and the whole kitchen caved in.
And again, back out live here, you can see one of the spots on the roof that caved in during that storm. As we pan out a little bit, you can see a lot of family members standing outside. That's because they've turned off the electricity, and right now they're waiting for the Red Cross to come out and help them. But again, after having this roof cave in the living room, the kitchen, and a bedroom, they are just thankful that the several people who were inside were not injured. Reporting live in Orange County, Summer Knowles, West 2 News on CW18.
Yeah, some good news there, Summer. Thank you. Now let's go to West 2's Chris Hush, who's in Castleberry, where the storm actually pulled part of a roof off a home.
Right, that's exactly what residents here in Castleberry are dealing with tonight. Take a look here. This is a section of a roof that was literally picked up, flung through the air hundreds of yards from the back of the house to the front and landed right on this car. Not only that, the winds were so strong here that the winds picked an entire mango tree, and that's just the beginning.
Division, we had lots of lightning, lots of rain.
Ended up going to the bathroom the way they say to go. I went and hid in the bathroom for a little bit, and then it was like, it only lasted a minute or two.
Just enough time to do all of this. Roofs ripped off of homes, trees skinned to the core.
Said it was like a dinosaur coming across the street.
Lori Knutsen's two neighbors escaped from their Jeep just in time as this tree came tumbling down.
It was so loud outside, you can't even capture that. I mean, it's insane.
It just turned. It was like hurricane.
Just shock.
And this is the shock Bonnie Stoss is dealing with just 2 weeks after moving in.
This came rushing through and it just tore this off and then landed up out front.
Landing on top of her car. Most of the heavy damage happened within miles of each other in Castleberry. The storm seemed to hit some and spare others.
We got no damage. We're blessed.
Now some sit without power. At one point, nearly 800 residents. Cleanup is expected to take days, for some even weeks.
And now we just have this.
Yeah, laugh truly goes a long way tonight. You can see right here Duke Energy on scene trying to restore some of that power. I just checked literally a few minutes before we went on air today. We have about 1,600, a little over 1,600 residents in Seminole County right now that are without power. Again, that is being restored. As you can see, there were some road closures as well in this area. From what we know, a lot of those roads have reopened. If not all of the roads are reopened tonight. All that's left, of course, is all of that damage to clean up. We're live in Seminole County tonight. Chris Hush, West 2 News on CW18.
A massive avalanche of ash from Mount Cinnabung sweeps down across the landscape. It's just the latest threatening sign from the Indonesian volcano, as experts fear the mountain is on the verge of another major eruption. They placed the volcano on the highest alert status earlier this month and have asked nearby residents to evacuate. Some 3,000 have had to leave their homes in the past week.
Our worry is that Cinnabung remains very active and the hot ash still threatens the neighboring areas.
After lying dormant for centuries, the volcano on the island of Sumatra has become increasingly active in recent years. Several times in the past week, it sent clouds of ash up to 2.5 kilometers into the sky. So far, no one has been hurt in these latest rumblings from the volcano. But 15 people were killed in February of last year in another powerful eruption. Since then, tens of thousands of people have left the area, hoping to avoid Mount Cinnabung's wrath. I'm CNN meteorologist Brandon Miller.
Been fishing, kind of a struggle right now on our rivers, partly because of that drought.
Right, people out on the rivers are finding dozens of dead fish in the water or along the shore of the Willamette and Clackamas rivers. We wanted to find out what is going on and whether it will affect the entire salmon run.
So our Lisa Balick is along the Willamette River and joins us live. Lisa, is this a really big concern right now?
Very much so for people who fish, and it could grow even larger if it's a long, hot, dry summer. Is this something that you normally would see this time of year?
I've never seen it like that before. I mean, I don't know that it doesn't happen, but I've never seen it.
Dozens of dead spring Chinook salmon, either floating in or along the banks of the Clackamas and Willamette rivers. With little snow this winter, the runoff is about over before summer even starts. River levels are far below normal. That means the water temperature is 5 to 10 degrees warmer than usual. A killer for some of the spring Chinook.
The water can't hold as much oxygen when it's that warm, so the combination of low oxygen and high water temperature really stresses the fish out.
It's bad timing. The Chinook are on their way back from the ocean to spawn where they were born, some 20 to 30 miles from here.
Now we're concerned that it can have an impact on the number of wild fish that spawn in this basin this year, but again, we had a good number of fish that went up early, and it really depends on what our conditions are going to be like through summer.
So far, 50,000 salmon have made it past Willamette Falls this spring, more than average, but fishermen are coming up empty and are worried.
I only got one jack salmon so far this year. And fishermen pay attention to that because that's what the run will be next year, because the jack salmon's only a year old and most of them are 2 years old when they come up. So when you don't catch hardly any jacks, it means the next year is probably not going to be too great either.
As for the dead fish, they're stressed, not diseased, and won't cause river users any harm. Now, fish and wildlife experts tell me it is illegal to take them. Now, I checked on the fish numbers at Willamette Falls. I was kind of curious. As the temperatures have gone up this week, the numbers of fish going by have plummeted. Listen to this. They went from 471 adult salmon counted on June 10th to just 59 counted there yesterday. Live along the Willamette River, Lisa Balick, Point 6 News.
We're also tracking another major weather story this morning. Out of control wildfires out west. It is hot and dry, which of course is the perfect recipe for fire. More than a dozen are blazing right now, the biggest in the San Bernardino National Forest in Southern California. And there's also trouble in Alaska. ABC's Kena Whitworth has more.
5 western states up in flames. The nearly 59,000 acres burning is being tracked by NASA. Families have watched 37 homes burn in Alaska.
Leave the line, Jay. Let's get out of here.
National Guard Blackhawks, the only thing able to reach some of the 6 fires burning in the wilderness of the last frontier. The governor declaring a state disaster. The lake fire in California's San Bernardino National Forest scorching 13,000 acres.
More than 20 hotshot crews are now battling this fire, some deep in the wilderness, others working on a controlled burn. You can see all the spot fires they've set to help eat up that fuel before it reaches the road.
That road held and kept the city of Big Bear safe, but with containment levels at just 10%, more crews are being added. This is just one of several fires burning in drought-stricken California. Smoke seen hovering south over San Diego as well. Firefights this early in the season is concerning for troops. The days are long and hot and far from over. But the people they are protecting are more than thankful.
They're all up here working hard, and we really do appreciate it. Without them, we wouldn't have any of the forests left.
For Good Morning America, Kena Whitworth, ABC News, Big Bear, California.
Scientists are investigating a huge mass of toxic algae, sometimes called red tide, off the U.S. West Coast that's prompting alarm and drastic measures. Officials in the state of Washington have shut down all crab fishing, and authorities in Oregon have banned digging for clams. Experts say it's the biggest toxic algae bloom they've seen in at least a decade. Scientists say this year's unseasonably high temperatures may be to blame, and they also point to a vast pool of unusually warm water in the northeastern Pacific known as the Blob, where the water is about 2 degrees warmer than normal. Scientists want to know more about why the algae bloom happens so early in the year and why it's so big. I'm Danielle Banks, The Weather Channel.
Kujira, the 8th typhoon on the western Pacific Ocean this year, has made landfall Monday night, bringing heavy downpour to Hainan province and neighboring province of Guangdong. The island province of Hainan has been placed on the 3rd highest storm alert, and ships have been ordered to avoid passing through typhoon-affected areas. The Hainan authorities evacuated more than 40,000 people, with over 20,000 fishing boats called back to harbor.
The Brahmaputra River in India's northeast state of Assam is dangerously swollen, rising above the warning level and flooding countless houses. Over 300,000 people have been affected. Roads, embankments, and bridges have been washed away, crippling the state's infrastructure. The flooding has led some residents to express anguish over the way the government has dealt with the situation.
The government has not heeded our concerns. We're in distress due to massive flooding in the area.
In the southern state of Andhra Pradesh, non-stop rains have also forced people to abandon their houses. The Indian Weather Department says more is to come, predicting moderate to heavy rain as well as thunderstorms to hit the area over the next 3 days. As a result, India's Foreign Ministry has put in place contingency plans for about 580 districts. But the rainstorms have been better received in other parts of the country. In the northern half of India, the downpours have led to lower temperatures after days of sweltering heat. Some people in capital New Delhi took to the streets on Sunday morning to enjoy a light shower.
This rain has brought relief. We came out because it is so soothing. Family members were stopping us from coming out, but we still came out. I think this kind of rain should happen every day. Then the temperatures will come down and people will be relieved from heat.
However, the light rain was soon replaced by heavy showers, which caused waterlogging in many parts of the city. Market areas in the capital also became flooded, leading to traffic snarls in a city already plagued by traffic congestion. Wherever those living in India like it or not, the annual rainy season is vital for the country, with half of its farmland lacking irrigation. The monsoon weather supports 2/3 of India's 1.2 billion population, who live in rural areas and rely on farming, the sector that accounts for 15% of India's $2 trillion economy. Zheng Yubing, CCTV.
It was a sudden loss for this family whose relative died over the weekend.
He fell as a result of extreme heat. We shifted him to a room on the first floor to rest. When he didn't come out for a noon prayer, we went up to find out why he didn't come, but we found him dead.
The extreme heat that contributed to Salim's death is also impacting other areas in southern Pakistan. Dozens of people died over the weekend. Many here are fasting for Ramadan, meaning they don't eat or drink during the day. It's been one of the hottest summers in years, and hundreds of people have been brought to hospitals. Doctors say many have suddenly collapsed and suffered from breathing problems.
Patients with heat stroke brought to the hospital at high-grade fever, altered state of consciousness, dehydration and fits. Since the weather was bad and the temperature was high, we expected more patients today also, and patients kept pouring in.
Searing temperatures mean many of the heat stroke patients did not make it. At least 150 bodies were brought to this morgue. Most of those who died were working outside in the heat or were from impoverished neighborhoods. People suffering from the spike in temperatures are also facing frequent power outages. Many places in the port city of Karachi and other districts in Sindh province have reported long hours with no electricity. There have been protests against persistent blackouts, and the opposition seems united against the government. MPs have criticized the government for not keeping its election promises of ending power cuts. The government says it's doing all it can to bridge the demand and supply gap of about 6,000 megawatts during peak hours. But there might be some relief in the next few days. Meteorologists say the heat is a regular occurrence as part of the pre-monsoon season, and some cloud cover has already lowered temperatures, but people are being advised to avoid unnecessary exposure to the sun in the coming days. Osama bin Javed, Al Jazeera.
We had a lot of severe weather in the upper Midwest on Monday evening. Take a look at this funnel cloud, possible tornado near Harmon, Illinois. And you know what? This stuff caused a lot of damage, whether it was tornadoes, whether it was straight line wind. Yeah, we're still going to be sorting that stuff out on Tuesday, but look at this stuff. I mean, this is near Sublette, Illinois. You can see flipped trailers. I mean, trees are just snapped all over the place. And it wasn't just Illinois. I want to fly you into a little town called Portland, Michigan. This is just east of Grand Rapids, and they actually sustained damage from an EF1 tornado. Okay, we're going to zoom into a house here. It appears to be actually maybe even a business where maybe they live upstairs, something like that. You see that olive-colored building? Look at what it looks like on Tuesday. Yeah, the roof is completely shaved off. You can actually see into these people's home. I mean, this is somebody's life here. Imagine what it would be like if you're in there and a tornado comes in and just shaves off the roof like that. So yeah, the Weather Service is going to be very busy throughout the day on Tuesday trying to figure out where there were tornadoes and where it was just straight line wind.
Power lines down. Power lines are going down. Holy crap. Look at that, dude. Zoom in. I know. I'm zooming. Just relax.
The path of the tornado was devastating. A number of homes were completely destroyed. A number of commercial buildings, warehouses were completely destroyed. And there's widespread tree damage and other assorted damage. It's a miracle, frankly, when you see the devastation that there were no deaths and no really life-threatening injuries. We're very blessed. But when you look and see how devastating the storm was, we're very blessed in that regard. No reported missing persons at the present time. But one of our concerns is over in the campground, many folks from long ways away potentially there. So there would be no report that someone was missing. No one would know. That's the reason we're so anxious to make sure that every inch over there is searched.
Seen the end result of a sinkhole, but have you ever seen it actually happen in real time? Yeah, this is incredible video coming out of Oklahoma. This is Highway 78 on the Oklahoma side of the Red River, and the ground is just so soaked there. Imagine you're driving around and then something like this happens. Yeah, this happens to people. I mean, we've seen it before where cars are at the bottom of sinkholes and you wonder how it happens. Well, yeah, if that happens right in front of you while you're driving your car, you're going to end up inside it. And of course, the ground just so incredibly soaked in some of these spots. We had record rain in May, and then of course we had Tropical Depression Bill that came in after that, adding a ton of rain into an already soaked ground. So just some incredible video there out of Oklahoma.
Is out
showing the arrest of suspected Charleston church shooter Dylan Storm Roof. Police in Shelby, North Carolina released this raw dashcam video of officers pulling Roof over, frisking him, and putting him in handcuffs.
Day for the love. You know what? Tomorrow night, Cowboy Mouth is going to be playing at Friday at the Full Moon. I'm so excited about that. I'm going to head over to Science on the Rocks first and check out their...
Now is the time to buy at McKinney Chevrolet Buick. No one's going to make you a better deal. You can get a brand new 2015 Buick Enclave and save up to $6,000. $2,500 on the Buick Encore on selected models. Go see Matt and Cliff. They'll show you. Mckinney Chevrolet 18. Up to 30% off. Greg's got it.
Shelby 721.
Stainless steel French door refrigerator, only $9.99. And LG 55-inch HDTV.
From Officer Davis advised that will be the correct vehicle for the
Thursday through Saturday. Don't forget to download the HH Greg app to find daily deals. HHGreg.com, available 24/7. Buy online, pick up in stores, same day, always free. Top brands, low prices, fast delivery. Subject to credit report.
It's a serious problem for many men. In case certain authorities or children are listening, we can't say what it is. Instead, here's a story about pitching a tent. Young Johnny used to pitch a tent with the slightest breeze. As he got older, things changed. He struggled to keep that tent up no matter how hard he tried. He took Viagra, Cialis, and still had issues. His camping life suffered until he heard about a guaranteed treatment from New Mayo Medical with a special custom blend of medication, FDA approved and no surgery involved. New Mayo Medical helped Johnny pitch a tent, keep it up, and enjoy timely camping like never before. Call 704-550-4122. That's 704-550-4122. They not only help you get your tent up, but prevent pitching too fast. Call today to learn how New Mayo can help you. 704-550-4122. And if you don't respond to the medication on the first visit, that visit is free. NewMayoMedical.com.
Close. Never stop improving. Cranial Doppler valve 617-622. Applied Doppler valve 617-623. Multiply flat. Plan offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. See store Lowe's.com for details.